is Bloodsport and Peacemaker. Now, I am to assume, now just kind of highlighting the post-credit scene, we see that, and I don't know how the hell Peacemaker survived that crash or that building landed on him, but I guess if we have a giant starro fish, he can survive that, right? So we learn that he survived it. He has his cast on. They were able to revive him, and we see that Amanda's crew's like, we have to pick him up because he has to save the world, which is going to lead into his TV show, which has already been announced, has already been completed. I believe it's going to consist of 8 episodes, I would imagine, kind of like the Disney Plus situation, 45 minutes to an hour, and we're going to get the origins of Peacemaker, so somewhat of a prequel, but I would imagine it's going to be a sequel continuation to what we met and how he's going to come out of that coma, wherever he's in, after the end of this film. So I would have to say, transition to the future projects, and particularly talking about Peacemaker, the TV show, I haven't really looked into what it's about besides it being a origin story and a continuation of what we get from this character in this film. But I believe that some of the employees that work for Amanda Waller, Argus, will be making their appearance in the show. I would hope that Amanda Waller is she's not gonna be on every episode, but I would hope that she would make an appearance in his show, as well as, I don't know who the main villain, we know that Peacemaker is essentially a villain, but I don't know if he's gonna be facing a bigger villain or a bigger threat. Is it gonna be retrieve that file that Bloodsport has taken, which leads me to saying, I hope that Idris Elba as Bloodsport is a character in his show, and I would love to get that round 2 between those two characters. Not a gunfight, but an actual hand-to-hand combat fight. I hope that he will make his presence felt in that show, and I'm referring to Bloodsport at this point. I hope that Idris Elba is some way, somehow attached to that series, because I want to see that round 2 between the two characters. But again, I don't know too much about the plot of what we can expect with a Peacemaker show, but after this film, I'm excited for it. I hope that Amanda Waller, I hope that Bloodsport, I hope that maybe Ratcatcher 2 make an appearance in the show, because I'm really looking forward to it. So that's my thoughts on the post-credit scene in the Peacemaker show. But let's transition into the final topic here, which is what's next for the DCEU, and particularly with James Gunn and his projects, with whatever he wants to do, because as you all can see on the screen now, Walter Hamada said that we would love to have James Gunn back, and we've had conversations of him doing another project. So what will that project be? Well, here are my predictions. Here is what I would hope to see. Number 1 being the Green Lantern Corps, a film that has been in the works for many, many, many years, and I would love to see him tackle that. Obviously, it's going to have a lot of connection to what he's done in the MCU with the Guardians, being intergalactic, being a team that has to come together, but I would think he would put his own spin to it. It doesn't have to be rated R, but I just really want to see, you know, a Jon Stewart, more of the Lantern Corps. I know we're getting a TV show on HBO Max to explore, you know, Jessica Cruz and some of those other characters, but I would really like to see what a James Gunn, the Green Lantern film will look like. So that's my first pick. My second pick will have to be obviously the Suicide Squad sequel, which I guess would be Suicide Squad 3. Who is the new team that he's going to assemble? Will we get a Harley Quinn, a Ratcatcher, a Bloodsport, you know, other characters, King Shark, and some other various crazy characters in the DC universe, Kite Man, Condiment King, you name it, right? See the return of Will Smith as Deadshot. I would love to see him follow up this film and have another mission. A little bit more interesting storyline, because that was my flaw of this film. The storyline was, again, very basic and very to the point, but I would love to see him tackle another follow-up to what he did in this film. So that's my number 2 pick. And then number 3 for me would be a Teen Titans action movie with a Nightwing. Can we get Nightwing on the big screen, live action, for the first time? I would love to see him tackle that story. I know I haven't watched the show, and I've heard mixed things about the show, but I would love to see him again. James Gunn does so well with damaged characters, with a group of people that don't necessarily work together, but finding their way working together, falling into a family, falling into a group, and I would love to see what he would do with a Teen Titans film. And then as far as a wild card, I mentioned it early as far as Harley Quinn goes, I would love to see James Gunn tackle the Gotham Sirens film, seeing, you know, the relationship between Harley Quinn and a Poison Ivy, and get Black Canary back in the mix. Get, you know, we got a Batgirl now. Let's see what that looks like, right? I would love to see maybe Kathy Yen come back, and maybe seeing a female director put her sensibilities in this story, which is mostly led by female actors. But I would like to see what a James Gunn Gotham Sirens would look like. So those are my picks to see what James Gunn would do in the DC universe. Of course, you know, I would love to see him maybe do a Superman story, which I know he said he had the opportunity to, but he didn't want to. I don't know. Will we see again, Nightwing coming into the live action big screen with Teen Titans? There's so much you can do, but let me know what you all would like to see James Gunn do, as well as comment below your favorite moments of the film, your thoughts on the ending, the post-credit scene. Are you excited for Peacemaker? What would you like to see that series look like? And again, let me know what project would you like to see Mr. James Gunn tackle next. And just for a DC fan, I'm just so happy that this film is successful. People are loving it, and I hope that this is only a glimpse of what we can see in the future. I'm looking at Flash, I'm looking at Shazam 2, Black Adam, the Batman, you name it. The future of the DC is looking bright. I love me the Batman, he's my favorite character, but there are other characters to explore in the DC universe, and I hope that we continue to get these stories. I hope we get a Man of Steel 2, see what Patty Jenkins has for Wonder Woman 3, and the future is looking bright for my favorite IP, which is the DC universe. So that's my thoughts on the Suicide Squad and everything that we talked about. Again, if you all stuck around to the end of this video, I appreciate every single one of you. If you haven't already, make sure to like, share, comment your thoughts below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell. That way you don't miss any of my other videos. I may have a watch-along plan for the Suicide Squad coming pretty soon, but we'll see how that plays out, so keep an eye out for that. Hope you all are having a great day. Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you in the next video.